What if I told you Cardi B's hidden track Imaginary Playerz has a deep connection to Jay-Z? Yep, the Bronx Queen drew inspiration from one of Hov's slickest classics. Stay tuned, because today, we're diving into 3 secrets that even die-hard fans might not know about this musical link. Jay-Z's original track Imaginary Playerz dropped in 1997 on his second album. It was witty, full of playful disses, and dripping with confidence. Cardi B, years later, flipped that same energy into her own street-smart style. And trust me, the way she did it will blow your mind. Secret number 1. Cardi wasn't just copying Jay-Z, she was channeling him. Her version pays homage while putting a female twist on the same hustler mentality. It's like Cardi said, "If Hov can clap back at the fakes, I can do it with even more attitude." Did you know that Jay-Z's original Imaginary Playerz was a jab at rappers flaunting fake wealth? Cardi B turned the tables. In Imaginary Playerz, she calls out fake friends and rivals, flipping Jay-Z's flex into a message that hits even harder in today's social media era. And here's the cool part. Cardi didn't even announce the song officially. It was one of those underground drops that fans pieced together. Imagine discovering your favorite artist hiding Easter eggs inside references to Jay-Z. That's why her fandom stays loyal. Let's talk about the lyrics. Jay-Z mocked wannabe ballers with, "You buying jerseys, I'm buying cars." Cardi B modernized that with her own money moves flex, referencing designer bags, red bottoms, and platinum records. The glow-up was real and undeniable. Secret 2? Producers were in on it. Cardi worked with beatmakers who knew Jay-Z's catalog inside out. The beat of Imaginary Playerz subtly mirrors Jay-Z's rhythm patterns, but with trap energy layered on top. It's like past meets present in sonic form. Most fans miss this detail. The way Cardi rides the beat mimics Jay-Z's laid-back swagger. But instead of smooth luxury, Cardi brings Bronx grit. It's almost like she's saying, "Yeah, I studied the best, but I'm running this game in my own lane." And here's something wild. Cardi once admitted in an interview that she listened to Jay-Z nonstop before fame. She admired how he built an empire, and her lyrics in Imaginary Playerz are low-key proof that she was learning from the master. Secret 3. The cultural echo. Jay-Z's track spoke to the 90s hustler era, but Cardi B updated it for millennials and Gen Z. Her Imaginary Playerz is not just music, it's commentary on fake lifestyles we see every day on Instagram and TikTok. Let's pause for a second. Imagine being a young artist who grew up in the Bronx, hustling through stripping gigs, dreaming big, and then creating a song that ties you back to Jay-Z's iconic discography. That's a full circle flex Cardi B deserves flowers for. If you're vibing with this breakdown, hit that like button, because we're only getting deeper into the crazy parallels between Jay-Z and Cardi B that you probably never noticed before. Stick around for Secret 3's jaw-dropping twist. Back to Jay-Z. His disses in Imaginary Playerz were subtle, not calling out names but making listeners feel the shade. Cardi took the same approach. She doesn't name drop, but when she spits, you know exactly who she's talking about. Here's a fact most people overlook. Cardi B dropped Imaginary Playerz around the time she was transitioning from Instagram fame to mainstream rap. It wasn't polished, but it had the hunger. And Jay-Z fans instantly spotted the homage. Another fun fact. Cardi's Bronx background gave her bars raw credibility. Unlike Jay-Z's luxury-coded imagery, Cardi's verses felt closer to street conversations. That's why her fans say she's realer than real when she claps back at haters. Imagine this. Jay-Z in 1997 laughing at imaginary rappers, then 2 decades later Cardi B laughing at imaginary friends. Same playbook, different battlefield. This is where hip-hop becomes generational storytelling. Let's talk numbers. Jay-Z's album In My Lifetime, Ballin' 1 sold over 1.4 million copies. Cardi's projects hit Billboard charts like wildfire. That connection shows us how influence passes down, old school sales to new school streams. Some hip-hop heads argue Cardi's Imaginary Playerz isn't even a direct remake, but rather a cultural response. Whether you call it homage or reinvention, one thing's clear. Cardi pulled inspiration straight from Hov's playbook. And guess what? Cardi isn't alone. Many rappers, from Drake to Kendrick, have sprinkled Jay-Z references in their music. But Cardi's version stood out because she fully embraced his swagger, not just a line or two. Secret 3's climax. Cardi's Imaginary Playerz is proof that hip-hop is a dialogue across decades. From Jay-Z mocking fakers in the 90s to Cardi mocking clout chasers in the 2010s, the torch has officially been passed. Cardi B's boldness in Imaginary Playerz echoes Jay-Z's confidence, but with her unique Bronx bite. She didn't just reference Hov, she expanded the legacy, proving female rappers can flex with the same lyrical sharpness and hustle mentality. Fun fact, Jay-Z often used humor in his shade. Cardi mastered that too. Lines in her song make you laugh while still cutting deep. That comedic edge is why fans replay her tracks, not just for the beat, but for the punchlines. Cardi's lyrics about fake lifestyles speak louder today than ever. Think about it. In an age of rented Lamborghinis and Instagram filters, Imaginary Playerz feels like a cultural mirror. She's calling out what we all secretly laugh at. The crossover power is insane. Jay-Z reached Wall Street with his mobile moves. Cardi B reached TikTok, Instagram, and Billboard. Different generations, same result. Total domination of culture beyond just music. Let's zoom in on the beat again. Producers layered trap drums on Cardi's track that nods subtly to 90s boom bap. It's like a handshake between eras, blending Hov's classic energy with Cardi's modern sound. Imagine listening to Jay-Z's version with your big brother in the late 90s, then fast-forwarding and hearing Cardi B's remix-style energy on your playlist today. That's the beauty of hip-hop. It keeps evolving, never dying. One underrated detail? Cardi's vocal delivery. She doesn't just rap, she performs every line. That animated style makes Imaginary Playerz not just a track, but an experience. Similar to how Jay-Z commanded attention with his laid-back cool. Cardi once said she studied Jay-Z's storytelling. You can hear it here. Every bar paints a scene. While Hov told tales of fake hustlers, Cardi paints vivid images of fake friendships, luxury fronting, and social media illusions. If you're enjoying these connections, smash that subscribe button so you never miss another deep dive into music history. We've still got more secrets and parallels to uncover. Let's not forget the hustle parallel. Jay-Z built Rockefeller brick by brick. Cardi built her empire from Vine, Instagram, and reality TV. Different grind, same principle. Work ethic over hype. Jay-Z had critics doubting him early on. Cardi? Same story. Both artists faced harsh skepticism, and both silenced doubters with undeniable success. That's why this Imaginary Playerz connection is more than music. It's legacy. In fact, Cardi B once mentioned she wanted to inspire people who underestimated her. That same chip on the shoulder is exactly what powered Jay-Z in the 90s. This parallel makes Imaginary Playerz even more powerful. Some hip-hop fans debate, was Cardi's Imaginary Playerz a diss? While Jay-Z had specific rappers in mind, Cardi's aim was broader, society itself. That's why her version feels universal. This universality explains why her track still gets shared today. Jay-Z's version was timeless because the hustle never dies. Cardi's version is timeless because fake flexing never stops. Imagine Jay-Z hearing Cardi's homage. Would he smile? Most likely. Hov has always praised new artists who carry the culture forward. Cardi's nod proves she studied his book and added her own chapter. The title tweak is genius. Jay-Z said Imaginary Player, singular. Cardi added Playerz, plural. That subtle change makes it a broader shot, aimed not just at one faker, but at the entire culture of fronting. Let's talk impact. Jay-Z's original influenced a wave of 90s rappers. Cardi's track influenced her fans to call out fake energy in their own lives. Music as self-help? That's next-level influence. Cardi's Imaginary Playerz also shows her respect for hip-hop history. She could have gone with a brand new theme, but instead, she chose to honor Hov while reinventing the wheel. That's hip-hop DNA in action. Drop a comment below. Do you think Cardi's Imaginary Playerz is homage, diss, or pure reinvention? I'll be reading through and shouting out the best takes in the next video. Now here's a deep cut. Jay-Z used his track to elevate himself above the noise. Cardi used hers to prove she wasn't just another Instagram personality, she was a rapper. That's the career pivot nobody saw coming. Both Jay-Z and Cardi leveraged confidence as currency. Imaginary Player was Jay-Z's way of saying, I'm the real deal. Cardi mirrored that energy, telling the world she was more than a social media star. Think about the timing. Jay-Z dropped his track when rap was crowded with fakers. Cardi dropped hers when the internet was crowded with influencers. Both stepped up as voices of authenticity. And here's where it gets spicy. Some believe Cardi's Imaginary Playerz wasn't aimed at fans or haters, but at industry peers who doubted her bars. That insider twist makes the homage even juicier. Like Jay-Z, Cardi B thrives on competition. Imaginary Playerz wasn't just fun, it was a warning. Just as Jay-Z scared rappers with wit, Cardi reminded the industry she could spit flames too. This is why fans call Cardi's track an unofficial sequel to Jay-Z's. Not a copy, not a cover, just the continuation of a story that started decades ago. Fun fact, some remix DJs have actually mashed up Jay-Z's Imaginary Player with Cardi's Imaginary Playerz. When you hear both tracks layered, the connection becomes undeniable. Cultural significance? Huge. Cardi's version shows how female rappers aren't just following trends, they're rewriting them. Imaginary Playerz was Cardi's way of planting her flag in hip-hop history. Now let's circle back to our 3 secrets: homage through lyrics, homage through beats, and homage through cultural commentary. Together, they prove Cardi B didn't just borrow from Jay-Z, she built on him. Final thought, Jay-Z once rapped about fake players. Decades later, Cardi B rapped about fake players. Different time, different voice, same energy. That's the power of hip-hop. It bridges generations.